For this report, you want to look at these field study procedures, and I wrote down by the assignment that you don't need to do part 1 here, which is monitoring the air pollution in your area using some petroleum jelly and plastic square and hanging them in different parts around your house, etc. We don't have to do that. We're going to skip part 1. Part 2 is tracking the air quality over a period of days. And the number of days, let's see here. Here's your data table. So you'll just do it over, let's just, do it over 6 to 8 days, so about a week that you'll be doing it. I'm not sure why they put these numbers in here, maybe just to show you an example, but you'll be filling this out and keeping track. So what you do is and I won't read through all this, but what it's saying to do is you go over to this site here. Oh, and by the way, let's take a look at the question. This is actually what you're going to be turning in. So let's do that first. You're not going to do number 1. Number 2, what differences, if any, did you observe in air quality index and particulate matter concentration from day to day? State a possible explanation. Include a table of air quality index and concentration of particulate matter during the time span of the study. So, yes, you'll fill out this data table, and then you're going to copy it and paste it in your answer here. But you're also going to want to say, okay, were there any differences? You could say yes or no. If it kind of all stayed in the similar range where it was good air quality, you would just say it pretty much stayed in the same range. Or if there was a big drastic difference, you would want to talk about that. And when it says state possible explanation, you want to think about what's going on that day in your town. Is it spring and there's a lot of pollen in the air and everybody's sneezing? Well, you're going to have more particulate matter in the air then, and your air quality index it won't be as good, your air quality. And or let's say there's been a lot of fires happening and there's smoke in the air. So there's different reasons you would want to talk about that if that's the case. So you'll go to this website, which it tells you to do on these procedures, and you're just there's several ways to get to Springfield or Eugene, whichever one you live. You can put your zip code in, and that'll bring you straight to your air quality for the day, which is 13. Another thing you can do is just click on near in Oregon, and then it'll have a list of, you could click Eugene, Springfield. And again, it's the same thing, 13. And so the next thing it tells you to do, so far we have, you would put 13 here, and then your air quality you would say is good because that's what it says right here, good. So you just need to get one more bit of information for the day. And that's your particulate matter, PM10. What you do to get there is you're going to go over to this calculator, and you need to put in, because it tells you on that sheet that you need to do the PM10. So it says here, as well as it tells you up here on the procedures. And then you'll put in your 13. And you'll calculate it. And so you're going to put down 14, and this just means micrograms per unit. I'm going to copy and paste that right there. The 14 I typed in, and then I copied and pasted that. And then the next day, you just have to remember each day to go in and do that. And that's it. That's how you answer question number 2. For question number 3, they're asking you to graph the monthly air quality data for your chosen area over the past 6 months. Which times of the year had the best air quality and which had the worst? What trends do you see, if any? Think of possible reasons for trends or lack of them. What additional data would you want to know in order to determine a more solid explanation? So maybe you would want to, for the additional data, maybe you would want to look at, you're not going to have to do this, but you could brainstorm things about, like, you could look at the newspaper for that week and see that everybody's suffering from pollen, or there's a big fire in in September there was a big fire and you saw that the air quality wasn't as good. So those are the things that where you could get additional data. Those are how you could think of trends in that way of like, it does seem like it's drier in the fall and more fires, and in the last 2-3 years there seems to be more fires happening. So those are some trends, and then you just have to look and see what you see in 6 months. And so let's take a look over here to show. You want to take your data from the first of the month and the middle of the month. So here is, you're just going to write it down. When I show you how to get this information, you'll just write it down just like this. You'll put the date and you'll put in good or moderate or whatever. Just you're going to put that the air quality category for each of those times. And then you will graph it. So here's your month. Here's January 1st, 2010, January 15th. February 1st, February 15th. March 1st, March 15th. For the 6 months. And then you'll have your good, moderate, unhealthy, very unhealthy, hazardous. And you'll just graph that. Okay, and so how do we get that information? And so what you'll do is you'll click on More Maps. And then you'll click on Archived Maps by Region. And that might not be what was written in your procedures here. I just found that's how I found it. So that's just what you'd want to do it that way. Anyway, so now you'll be able to find, the first and the 15th of each month. Up here and go to, let's see, Portland, Oregon. I don't think they have Springfield. So we'll just go with Portland, Oregon, because that's our region. And then we can look on those days. So let's look back 1 month. So yeah, some of these air qualities at these times, it could have been that it was really cold that day and a lot of people were burning wood in their wood stoves or their fireplaces. And that, who knows? Those could be some of the reasons. So you'd go back and you'd get that for each of the 1st and the 15th of each month. This one actually has an orange spot on it. So, and that's this USG, unhealthy for sensitive groups. So, and that was on here as well as one of your categories. So it would be up here on your chart for that, for whichever day that was. And that's really it. That's your assignment. So let me know if you have any questions.